You're watching the Isaiah Factor Uncensored.
Welcome and thank you for joining us for the second half hour of The Factor Uncensored. It is a city within a city, and it can be found closer than you think. That area is located near downtown Houston, under 59, near I-10. It has become a nuisance for those who travel the Columbia Tap Trail. The makeshift homeless encampment has captured the attention of a Harris County Precinct 7 Constable's office. There's an outreach to try and get the 50 to 80 individuals the assistance they need to find stability in life. Let's take you in this exclusive to this hidden haven that has everything from playground equipment, campfires, and pet dogs. And this is why you should. So Ed, what did you see, what did you encounter with the homeless that made you decide I need to get law enforcement involved?
So let me be clear, we are not concerned about anyone's housing status. We were doing a volunteer project at James Butte Park with Friends of Columbia Tap and other partnering organizations. While we were out there, our volunteers, many of them came on bicycle, scooter. We had individuals from this area under the bridge come out and steal those bicycles and scooters with, by cutting the locks with electric power tools. And we called HPD. HPD did not want to come back here. It's kind of a known dangerous area. They told us we should have come with private security, and we said, this is a public park and these are public trails. Why should we have private security to use public spaces? When we tracked it back on our own a couple weeks later, we had found out that they were here, but they had been destroyed in a fire. You can see the remnants of the fire on one of those pillars. And
when you say they were here, you mean your bikes?
Yes, but they had burned in a fire that was back here. And when we talked to the folks that are back here, they basically said that this has become a sacrifice zone, that it's unsafe, there's fights, there's fires, they're not getting services. Many of them don't want to be under here, and many of them don't want to be mixed in with a criminal element. And so the two are separate issues. There's folks that are unhoused that want to access housing. We need to make sure that there's beds, because the city, through Director Satterwhite with Homeland Security, has been responsive and reached out to us and has said that they need beds so that they can rehouse the folks that want to be rehoused. At the same time, we're concerned about the public safety element. If HPD and the constables can't get the crime issue under control, I believe these public trails need to be closed until the situation is under control, because right now there's loose dogs, there's people blocking the trails, there's thefts happening, there's robberies happening. It's not a safe public space.
Do you feel like anyone is hearing you? Obviously, Precinct 7 is out here with you today,
right.
But HPD told you you need to have private security.
Constable Smokey has been very responsive. Director Satterwhite with the city's Homeland Security Department has been very responsive. Council member Twyla Carter has reached out to us and helped to facilitate some of those conversations with the director. But we need the nonprofits involved. We have two different nonprofits building new trails that are going to converge right here, the Buffalo Bayou Partnership and Houston Parks Board. Their staff are too afraid to come out here to even do maintenance. We have mud piles, we have lack of access. If you go through these bike paths, they're overgrown. We ourselves had to actually cut the trees that fell after Beryl and derecho. Volunteers came and cut the trees because the staff of these nonprofits are afraid to come back here. That's how bad the situation has got. It's literally become a forgotten world underneath these highways.
And when you look at big picture and you lay out what you need, volunteers, but also security, right? Meaning law enforcement to get involved, because the police department has told you, get security.
We need a multi-pronged approach. First, we need to focus on the public safety and public health element of the individuals who are under here. Those who want to access housing need to be given that opportunity and the social work to do that. The illegal thefts and robberies and chop shops for the bicycles, those need to, that's more of an enforcement issue. And then the nonprofits in the city and the county partners, they need to put lighting back here, they need security. It's either a public space or it's not a public space, but it can't be this forgotten netherworld of criminality and loose, rabid dogs, right? That's not a public space. So if they want to make this a public space, then they need to work together to do it.
It's just mind-blowing what you will see out there. Don't go anywhere. This special report continues after the break, and we hear from law enforcement. And welcome back to The Factor Uncensored. We take you back to the homeless encampment that brings the Columbia Tap Trail to a dead stop for those who may be walking or riding on it. It's where deputies today attempted to reach out to those without homes and get them the help they need. Here's more of our exclusive of the city within our city.
I'm Deputy Walker. How y'all doing today? How long have you been out here? About 2 years.
Chief Grant, when you hear the problems that people from the supporters of the Columbia Trail group see out here, and you take a look at the homeless situation out here, and they're saying there's crime out here, what can be done, if anything?
So we have tried to come out here and engage with the citizens in this particular community right here to try to offer any type of help, to try to offer support from the Harris Health Center and through mental health diversion programs to try to get them a bed or some type of placement to help them get either back on any type of medication they may be off of right now, or try to find them temporary or permanent housing. That's our goal right now, to get these people from under this condition right here.
Deputy Walker, when you see a situation like this, what is the approach? Because obviously we're not talking about just people who want to be out here. There's some other things going on, right?
Right. So there is some underlying factors. I mean, the approach right now is with me riding with a clinician. It would be best for us to come out here and try to engage with these citizens, these homeless citizens, and try to see what are the needs and the necessities that they need to get on their feet to rehabilitate into the world. As far as like you have people that deal with substance abuse, and there might be some good resources we can get them, whether it's medical abuse, disabilities, there are resources we can connect them with, and also mental health resources we can connect them with to get back on their feet. Before me, has anybody else came out here?
Yesterday,
Search. Okay, Search come out here.
Have many of them been receptive to that? Are they open to possibly getting a bed and going to the county, not the county jail, but county system, to find the assistance they need?
It's always mixed emotions as far as the help, as far as law enforcement's approach. Sometimes it's kind of difficult to get them to trust us and believe we're here to actual help. But we partner with the Harris Health Center. That way they can see a familiar face, someone who is from the mental health center, to be able to help out and try to get the partnership that's needed there to get them the assistance that's necessary.
And Isaac, how difficult is it to make them, or at least try to convince them to accept the help that they need?
yeah, in fact, we have the very first thing that we have to do is to build rapport with them, like to introduce the program to them, for them to know how the impact that will have on them, and then also some of the resources available out there that we can put in place to help them get out from this kind of situation.
So they do come out here and try to get y'all resources. Okay, what about for mental health service? Does anybody? That was yesterday?
Now, what is the ultimate solution? I would think fencing this place in, and that would require Texas Department of Transportation to get involved.
Yes, sir. So the ultimate solution, if you look to the left here, you see pretty much all of the encampment spaces here. All of the tents are up under the freeway. So we had the same situation up on the Pierce Elevated, where TxDOT came in and did their part as a stakeholder and fenced in up under the Pierce Elevated. If they come and do that, then I'm pretty sure we'll have the same success that we had up under the Pierce here, right here near the Columbia Tap.
And Deputy Walker, are there resources, enough of resources, if they want that help, if they're willing to accept that help?
The resources are there now. As far as like of a mass, it's kind of limited. I mean, but they are there to help. Housing is kind of an issue with getting them housed right away, because there's a waiting list. There's a huge homeless population where we got downtown, we have midtown, and we have these encampments. So there is a waiting time, but the resources are there. I would say they are there.
Would you consider this area, obviously there are people who travel Columbia Tap Trail on their bikes, jogging. Would you consider this area dangerous? Would you tell them not to approach?
Yes, I would have to say that it is. At this time with an encampment like that, we don't know who we're dealing with under this area by this trail. So right now, with the with the people coming in and out through here, it will be a danger. I would say travel in groups and not by yourself.
My best advice would be to particularly avoid this intersection right here at the Columbia Tap right now, especially at nighttime, because there's a bunch of unknown factors up under this bridge, and I would hate for somebody to be up under here alone with this type of population. I mean, a bunch of crime does occur up under here. We have people who's off their medication up under here, so I would say definitely avoid the entrances to the Columbia Tap.
Any other advice for those who may, by chance, I've met a lot of homeless people who have a TV,
right,
and they're watching.
And phones.
Yeah, and phones. What would you tell them to do in order to get the help they need?
What would I tell them to do to get the help they need?
The first step.
To reach out to us. If they see us, engage with us, and we'll get them the help they need.
And this is not a situation where you can just call the police. It's a tough problem to tackle, multi-layered. You may have individuals who have mental health issues, and the list goes on and on.
Yeah. So as you see, we came out here today as law enforcement, but we also brought the Harris Health Center here, just in case, and while we're doing this particular interview here, we encounter somebody who may be in need of medical services, or may need some type of attention to medication, or they may need temporary or permanent housing, and we can help in any way. We're here to do so. We want to do our part.
That first initial encounter is everything. And a lot of times law enforcement, when they see us, they don't want to approach us because they think we're going to take them to jail. So if us as officers could, even engage with them before they engage with us, that would work as well.
I'm seeing a whole human beings living in conditions like this is very, very, very disheartening. So all that we have to do is to put the resources out there together to help them to just rehabilitate them back to the community.
Such a tough situation, and of course, Precinct 7, the constable's office, Constable Smokey Phillips will be following up. Now, Houston provides several resources for those in need. That includes emergency shelters and different kinds of housing that may be out there. They can be found through the Coalition for the Homeless Houston and Harris County. And of course, we're hoping that those individuals get the help they need, and we'll pass these reports on to city and county leaders as well.